Yes. I want to just start off real quick. Right before this, you said you were done with podcast.
Yeah.
Why are you here today?
For one, you've always shown me love. Every time I ran into you, anytime we ever even, cross paths, you always show me love, show me support, and that's part of the reason why I'm here. But you got something good going on, and I just want to be a part of that too.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And I think that the majority of Hawaii, when they watch what you're doing with these young lions, you're keeping them off the streets, you're helping them in their own personal fitness journeys. And actually, I mean, it's a way of life.
100%.
Boxing, right?
Yes.
To how you manage your sleep, your diet, right? Your exercise. Run me a little bit through Nito Boxing and the culture.
I was just pretty much like you said, a lot of these kids, they've been with me from when they was kids. They're adults now, like we just come from the street. We all come from Waianae. Everybody in my gym come from Waianae, so we all cut from that cloth of just, we face a lot of adversity growing up, and, it's a lot of grit and stuff. But yeah, Nito Boxing is just a way of life, like everything we do, how we move every day. It's just hard to explain. Like I get this question asked a lot. It's a hard thing to like one word to say what we do and what we stand for and all of that. It's just, I don't know, man. We've just been doing it for so long. It's just a way of life for us. Like how we carry ourselves, how we approach situations, and and just try to be successful in everything that we do.
Yeah, because one thing I don't hear is fighters from Nito Boxing Academy getting into scuffles outside of the gym. You don't hear them getting caught up in crime and whatnot with the law. So there's something that comes from your leadership, and maybe it's your experience where you can kind of impart the good values and morals in these kids and show them the right path.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I was hard head. I got into stuff like any other kid. I was probably the most probably rugged out of my whole family, and just growing up, I just always had a chip on my shoulder too. So I know. So my leadership comes from understanding what they go through, how they feel, how they think. I think that's what makes me a good coach. Not only the knowledge that I have, but just to have been in their shoes before. So I think I can guide them, because I've been there. I've been the outcast. I've been the guy with the chip on my shoulder. I've been that punk. Yeah. And I knew that that's not how you live life. So.
Yeah. You feel like you were the least likely to make it?
100%.
Yeah.
I surprised myself. Yeah. 100%.
So a modern day success story with a local brother that has hit rock bottom at some point, now owning 3 gyms, 2 on Oahu, 1 Waipahu, 1 Kahala, and you got 1 in California, Palo Alto, right?
Yes, and then we're looking to open up 1 more. So,
okay. Yeah. That's a secret for now.
Kind of. We're just working out the kinks, but yeah, it's on its way.
Right on. So you said your Waipahu gym is the one where most of your national champions train at.
Yes, my fighters and pro fighters and stuff. Okay. The national champs turn pros. So
nice. But professionals aren't the only ones that you train. You also have a program for amateurs or people that just want to kind of get into it or exercise.
So my Waipahu gym is specifically for professional fighters, elite training, because you kind of want to separate the two, right? But we got Kahala, if you want to take fitness and you just want to learn the science, get a good workout. My other 2 gyms, they do that.
Come to think of it, Kenji, Erin used to go to Nito.
I know. I was gonna bring that up.
Erin,
she's a young girl. That's my niece. She was going to you for a little while. She's really young, like 13, 14, 15-ish. 13-ish. Yeah. But she said she had a good experience there, and she was definitely an amateur. Well, so if somebody's like, hey, I want to get into boxing, Kahala would probably be...
To start off. Yeah, to start off, because it looks fun, right? But it's hard, And then you just want to get a taste for it first and see how far you want to take it. Because boxing is a good outlet to, like, relieve stress and just have a good workout. But to take it to the next level, that takes a lot of commitment. It's a lot of people say they want to do that until they get into the rotation of doing it, and so we see that a lot, But it takes a lot of, you got to be a little bit crazy, to take it that route,
You do. So I mean, like, hey, you got six to seven national champions,
Yes.
amateurs on the cusp of becoming a pro. How do you get that many amazing fighters in your stable, or do you recognize it in their infancy and then you just cultivate it, or like what attracts them to your gym? Or
Well,
do you build it?
We all started in Waianae. You know, I come from Waianae. I'm, coach, trained head from Freddie Pereira. And so all my fighters come from that gym. And then as Pops was getting older, I started coaching, and then it was naturally for them to gravitate towards me because Pops was getting older, and there was not much you could do at the time, and I was, young, hungry coach, and making moves, and they wanted to take their career further, and so that's how it all came about. But we've known each other, so all my fighters, we've known each other since when I was fighting, and they were kids, so we grew up around each other.
Okay, so it's like family.
Oh yeah,
before it was even
before it was even a thing. We just kind of we come from the same place, and then I started coaching, and then they were getting older, and when you get to a certain point in your career as far as boxing, like it's hard because in the beginning when you're amateur, no money coming in, and there's no real future in it unless you have the connections. Stuff like that. So I was young coach, and I was making those moves, and I built a gym, and just to pay attention to the fighters like that, and it was just naturally for them to just come on and then come on board what I was doing, and because we were already close.
Yeah, and they trust you.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
see what you've been through, they see
for
where
sure.
you at. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But then it also comes to your experience in the ring as well, because I know at a certain point, I think I've heard you talk about this in other interviews, but I was really curious too. What was it like sparring Manny Pacquiao in his training camp?
It was one of the greatest experiences. That was a great man, and I think at the time I didn't realize what I was doing and how grateful should I be back then. But as I'm older now, that experience, gave me a lot of knowledge and respect in the sport for sure. It was a great experience. Probably I was 21 at the time. And they were paying me good money to spar him too. So it was, man.
So what, you gave him good work?
I gave him great work. A lot of people not gonna believe because it's Manny, but I was his main sparring partner. I gave the most rounds to Manny. I did good.
Yeah. How does it feel to get hit by Manny?
Shit. Like he's just so fast. Like he was so fast that, because I had pretty good defense growing up. I was pretty known for, the flashy style. I'd get away from shots, but Manny was so fast that I couldn't even do that. I would just watch his hands, right? I would watch his hands, and once he throws, I just throw because I was young and I didn't care. I just, fuck it, let's go. If you're going to take me out, whatever. But I did good, I was good.
That's just so amazing to me because for Manny, for most around the world, Manny's a hero.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the only reason he'd be an enemy is if he beat your favorite fighter. But
for sure.
You still respect him.
For sure.
And I think as a leader, when you look at him and you look at his camps and you see his following and the amount of people that he's jogging in the streets with, you know what I mean? His diet, he's eating with everyone. He take care of everyone.
Yeah.
Just from what I see, it seems like he's an amazing leader.
No, that from what I've been around, because I haven't been around like that, but I've been around him enough to see that. And I think a lot of my program, right, a lot of my regimen is built on those experiences. Oh. Yeah, and even how he treat people and stuff like that, I try to do the same.
Respectful.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Kuya. Yeah. you Filipino too, huh?
Yep.
And
Filipino,
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Filipino, Puerto Rican.
Both cultures that have amazing athletes.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to boxing. When you think of Hawaii and you think of like when we grew up, I'm 41, huh? 30,
I'm 38.
38. Okay, we were in the same ballpark. Yeah. Grew up with the Dennis Alexios.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The Brian Valorias.
Yeah.
The Jesus Salute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesus Salute and Jordan IA. He's going to be on the podcast too. But then there's Carlos Tangaro and your legacy and empire that you're building now and the boxers that are coming out of your stable. I feel like, bro, you're a very important part of boxing history in Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean...
You are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, and of course, like I've gotten to a point in my life where I try to be as humble as I can. You know what I mean? Because in the beginning, I talked my shit before.
Yeah.
I've always talked my shit before, but I'm at a point in my life where, just trying to be a better version of myself. But yeah, I'd like to say I played a big role in as far as the the boxing scene, and where it is now.
It's not done yet, though.
No, that's not done yet.
But then also the crossover into MMA, because I know Max Holla, I've seen him hitting mitts with you. Some of the megalists in the MMA world, which is blowing up right now. We all know, right? But there's something different and classy about boxing that is very attractive. You can wear a tuxedo to the fight.
Yeah.
You can have a glass of champagne. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Boxing is sexy. I think boxing is actually like on a big uprising. As well. Is that the live?
Yeah.
Carlos Tangaro, Nito Boxing.
Let's go.
Doing big things for Hawaii, man.
Rylan said what's up.
Oh, Rylan, something about Rylan. Okay, Rylan, you next, bro. So you know Manawai? Rylan?
Yeah.
He's somebody that we grew up with, and he's
Okay.
doing a lot for the community as well. So I just want to give him a shout out as well.